I think the South African woman brings so many things, but I think in particular she brings passion. I think that we have so many examples of women who are just passionate about so many things, and I think that's what embraces the South African woman. I think if I just think about the work that I do and just being thoughtful of the role that parents have in leading children through so many different things. We have so much different leadership. We have politics, we have managers of businesses, but for me the most critical leadership that we can see anywhere is a parent leading their child through life and giving them the skills that they need. I often say to parents that I work with that I think the most difficult job in the world is being a parent. Even if you're the CEO of Anglo American, I don't think that you really understand what it means to have stress and worries just like a parent would do. And I think that if we all see the legacy we can leave behind and the impact that we can have on the world around us through our children and through taking good care of our children, I think that we have an enormous ability to leave behind so much that is going to be good for our country. My passion is about caring for and nurturing people who've been hurt, and in particular children. I am so privileged to be able to work with so many children who've been hurt and just bearing witness to the things that they do and the amazing stories that they can tell and how they live through them and get through them, and just so many inspirations that children bring us when we learn to listen to children. We've all had various different personal mountains to climb, and I think a personal mountain that is really on my forefront at the moment is to not get weighed down by the dark side of life. The work that I do with children often is about exploring darkness and exploring trauma and exploring the things that we don't sometimes want to imagine happens to children. And I think the mountain that I try every day to climb, and sometimes there's a real struggle, is about not allowing the darkness to suck me in. Because when that happens, I'm no longer able to give hope to children. And with hope, they can't heal. What keeps me climbing? That's a very interesting question, because I often wonder about that myself. There's something inside of me, something that just allows me to carry on every day. And just when I think, sure, I have no more left, somewhere I will find it, an inspiration in what a child says to me, an inspiration in seeing my own children, my own family deal with things. So there's not one single thing. I think it's so many different things. And obviously just keeping in mind that we are held in the hand of God, and that He, I don't know if it's Him that gives me the inspiration, but somewhere I find it every day. There used to be an advert on the TV that used to say, if you don't have pine nuts, you don't have nutting. And I think the reality is, if we don't have a sense of community, we really don't have anything, because then we lost and we don't belong anywhere. And I think it's so important for women to have community, a sense of community within themselves, for children to have a sense of community, and more also beginning to realize that in healing children, healing families, that the more sense of community we have, the more healing takes place. Accountability. I hear in there some words of accountancy, which freaks me out because it reminds me of school days. But accountability is about being responsible, first of all, to myself, and then responsible to those around me in doing the right thing. And sometimes that's not always the easy thing to do, but it is about doing the right thing. I think if each one of us just sits still and reflects for a moment about how many things we have to be grateful for. Doesn't matter which community we come from, doesn't matter how much money we have in our bank balance, but I think many of us have so much to be grateful for, and many of us so much more than many others. And I think it's time that women really kind of stand up and say, what do I have? What do I have to be grateful for? And what can I share with others? Whether it be my time, my thoughts, my energy. It really is time to say, I have so much and I need to share. Sure, women of South Africa, we have so much, and I think the first thing that maybe we need to learn is to learn to take good care of ourselves, because in taking care of ourselves and learning and getting in touch with our own passion It is only then that we are able to care about those around us and care about them effectively. So if we want to really begin to make a difference in our children's lives, in our families' lives, and in our communities' lives, it's about getting in touch with what's good for us so that we can embrace our passion and do what needs to be done. In the last 15 years working in the field of child trauma, I've become so aware of how few children really get the healing opportunities that they deserve. And I'm really, really excited and passionate about trying to put in place a safe place for children where they can come, where they can receive the therapeutic services that they need, where their families can receive the support and help and healing that they need, so that we don't continue to create broken children and let those broken children make their own families of broken children. And so it is my wish that we'll be able to start an NGO in which we can provide healing for children and families through therapy, where we would be able to train communities and professionals who work with children who don't always have the skills and the knowledge in how to do it effectively. And then also to start a project in which we can empower women to create and manufacture therapeutic tools that can be then used in the work to heal children. So it really is about giving children and families and communities a sense of self, a sense of healing, wholeness, and of course empowering them to be able to take the next step in their lives. I think we need to move away from this idea. For a very long time people have spoken about children being resilient. Children are not as resilient as what we think they are. They need our support, they need healing opportunities, and they need their families to be healthy.